What's going on, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time. As a musician myself, today is the return of Chrono. We have Burning Orphanage and The Girl Who Stole the Stars from the channel Yasunori Matsuda. Requested by Pookster Prime and Tri-Sci-Fire. Thank you so much. Those are some wild titles. I actually really enjoyed the music from Chrono Cross. It's different. It's quite different from Chrono Trigger. It's like its own game, apparently, which people have stated that's either a good or a bad thing. There's really no gray area when it comes to this game, but it seems to have its own identity for sure. But this is, I don't have context on these. Burning Orphanage. Probably a very big story moment here. Oh, vocals? I don't know if I've heard vocals in any Chrono game. I want to say no. Oh my gosh, the dread of the song is so... That is a creepy vocal. It's great, but it's creepy. I feel like I know what's going on. Well, I don't, but I mean, the tension of the music and the title, but it also kind of sounds like a boss theme. So it really sounds like a boss theme. You can really hear that quality jump to the PS1. Straight opera? The organ? This might be the darkest song I've heard in anything Chrono related. It's nice to hear Mitsuda doing stuff like this. I've heard very little of his like intense work. That just sounds like a very bad time. That just sounds like one of the most pivotal story points. But I had like a very specific scenery in my head, like very RPG brain. And I can't compare it to another game because it'll be spoilers. But basically, immediately, two things came to mind. And they're very different. One is a boss theme. It just sounds like a boss theme, but I don't think so. That's just like my... Like, between these two choices, I feel it's like 70-30, and this was the 30. The 70 feels a little like, based on the song title alone, it feels like a flashback or a memory. Or it's currently happening, but like the act and seeing upon that, a burning orphanage. Like, I can imagine like the main antagonist or one of their goons just... getting rid of a place from either the main character or one of the party members. And this is the horror you're seeing and feeling. That's what it felt like to me. It felt like a story beat as opposed to a boss. But it was so intense. You can feel... Well, I mean, with the song title, I couldn't get out of that. So, the dun 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 dun, very flame sounding to me. The opera was totally new. I can't recall any moment where I've heard vocals in any Chrono song. I really don't think so. So that was totally new. That's a big jump. And honestly, for me, that it almost doesn't even sound like Yasunori Matsuda a little bit. And all I mean by that is just because we all experience composers different with whatever we started with and whatever on bias. I think of certain stuff when I think of composers because it's what I've heard most of. So in this case, when I think of Masuda, I think of that Chrono Trigger like town theme sound and like that bass and that funkiness and high emphasis on just kind of groove. I haven't heard much of this, tension, extreme stuff from him. So very diverse. That's really impressive, actually. I would never guess this from any Chrono game at all, or him. So it seems like they really, really wanted to go their own. I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't know the premise of Chrono Cross. I know people are really divisive on it because it's not Chrono Trigger Part 2, but people also really love this game as well. And some people just like love both games for what they are, not necessarily because they're together. But it seems as though they wanted to keep the IP and do something with it, and just do something completely different because everything I've heard and seen, it just feels like a whole other thing from Chrono Trigger. And that's cool. I don't mind that. I'm not going to play this game, but well, never say never. But I have no intention on it. But from what I've seen and heard, it's quite different. I like it though, and it sounds concerning. If you want to tell me what's going on here, please put a spoiler warning at the top of the message and then put it at the bottom so you don't spoil others. But I'm kind of curious what happens here. This one is The Girl Who Stole the Stars. And I'm noticing something here, it's I noticed it before, but now it's solidifying that something in Chrono Cross, Cross, is there's a lot of theming with stars and dreams, mostly stars. And I wonder actually if that is a callback in the Sea of Stars game, considering Masuda's in that too. So I don't know. Anyways, The Girl Who Stole the Stars. Why is she stealing stars? Let's go. Ooh. See, this is kind of the more of the stuff that I'm familiar with. I wonder if these songs are connected. I don't know if they are, because now this sounds like the aftermath of what just happened. More vocals. Oh, this is amazing. This is a really good soundtrack. It's different. I think once you get over that hump that it's not Chrono Trigger Part 2, you can really embrace it for what it is. I think it's more impressive that it can sound so different. This is good. What a contrast to the last one. Whew. A lot of my favorite instruments are here. Piano's in my top 5, and then I love the flutes. Just played a whole game with flutes as the focus. Violin. get over the sheer whiplash of these two songs together. But that's awesome, though. I really do admire the spectrum of it all. Da, da, da. Kind of lullaby-ish. I'm trying to think of what this title can mean. Stealing Stars. That right there, that little ding, ding, that sounds very Chrono Trigger. Like the tail end of that. I think it actually might be a motif. This right here, this part right here, reminds me of like Octopath a little bit, like the overrolls of Octopath. Another game that was most likely inspired by Yasunori Mitsuda and Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. Yeah. So this is so interesting to me, like for many, many reasons. First, the contrast of the two songs couldn't have been any more different. I feel, though, those were not related, if I had to guess. I had nothing to go off on that guess. It just feels like they're not, which is fine if they're not. I usually prefer that anyways. But as someone who's played something relating to this, it's a little different than like a completely blind, reaction. But it still is, right? I've never don't know what's happening. I've only seen like a couple screenshots of Chrono Cross. I've heard the credits theme, and I've actually seen the ending and the beginning of this game with Scars of Time. Scars of Time? Scar something, the intro, which I think was the first Chrono Cross I ever experienced, and then I've seen the ending too. Well, the credits. Maybe I haven't seen the story. I don't know anything of the story. So yeah, it's a little odd having some sort of familiarity with what's going on here, but I don't know if I had to guess, I'm pretty sure Chrono Trigger was 95. Ooh, I could be wrong about that. Let's just say mid-90s. And this game for sure is the PS1. And I think only the PS1. I don't think it released on anything. I don't know if it's a Nintendo. No, I don't think it was on Nintendo. Hey, was it? Let me know if it was, because no Chrono Trigger was Nintendo. Anyways. So I'm guessing there's at least like a 4, 5, 6 year gap here. And a lot is different. Right? We have CD quality now, even though we're still using like MIDI instruments and all that. It's just a whole different identity. And I don't know. There's something commendable about that. It's just... It's not often I experience these games that have like such split communities. I don't know if that's the right word, but every time I upload Chrono Cross, it's definitely like it's like you almost have to talk about Chrono Trigger at the same time, because people were waiting for it and people were disappointed. But to me, I'm just impressed by the whole execution of it all. I don't know. I think it says a lot about the talent of someone. And this is just a composer. I don't even know about if they had the returning writers, the directors, all that. Because I remember Trigger had this whole like dream team type thing. I don't know if Toriyama returned or anything, but I'm just talking about Yasunori Mitsuda, who created such an iconic soundtrack with the first one, which is regarded as like some of the best music in video game history for a lot of people. And then Chrono Cross is also extremely really good, but sounds completely different. And almost sounds like someone else too. So I mean, it's really impressive just how wide it is. That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. Because song-wise, I don't know. There seems to be like a very big emphasis on the sky or this sort of dream world or something. Something fantasy. If that makes any sense at all. Like the first game was all about time travel and fantasy. I'm assuming time travel is a big deal in this game, considering Chrono's in the title, but I don't know. I feel like, actually, yeah, I never thought about that. I feel like in Chrono Trigger, they emphasize more of the time travel in the music. I don't know if I've heard that here. Maybe. Here it just sounds more fantasy-like. I don't know. Whatever, you guys can tell me. But amazing songs. 2 vocal songs. I'm pretty sure that's new to me. But those are both catchy, and one was extremely intimidating, the other one was extremely relaxing. Let me either vaguely know what happens or what's going on, but thank you. Those are awesome. Can't wait to hear more Chrono Cross. It's very, I don't know, I'm always going to be very curious and intrigued when I hear Chrono Cross just because of my history with it. So, cool. Thank you to the requesters. Thanks to everyone you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.